Hey founders, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on what is honestly one of the most brilliant product strategies ever executed. We're going to examine exactly how Google took what looked like a simple free consumer utility and meticulously engineered it into an absolutely indispensable B2B monopoly. If you're building a product right now, the strategic masterclass we're about to break down is going to completely change how you view your roadmap.
Think about your own daily routine for a sec. You open the app, find a coffee shop, get directions, dodge a traffic jam, and you don't pay a single cent for any of it, right? So how exactly is this completely free tool basically one of the most strategically lucrative products in tech history? Like, how does a product with zero subscription fees generate billions of dollars?
Well, the answer starts with massive, mind-boggling scale. Today, we're talking about billions of monthly users navigating billions of miles literally every single day. By making the product completely free and, let's be real, significantly better than anything else out there, adoption just exploded. And this illustrates a core strategic principle you need to know. Massive scale sets the stage for an absolute masterclass in ecosystem monetization. But they weren't just trying to monetize navigation directly.
Here's our exact playbook for today's teardown. We're going to cover 1. The free utility illusion. 2. Becoming digital infrastructure. 3. Hidden monetization engines. 4. The ultimate data mode. And finally, 5. The founder's playbook. Let's get into how you transition from a free tool to sustainable B2B revenue.
All right, Section 1, the free utility illusion, the setup. Think back to before smartphones. Navigation was, frankly, incredibly painful. We relied on disconnected paper maps or literally printing out a stack of MapQuest directions just to find a new restaurant. Super clunky, right? But Google didn't just build another map app. They combined satellite imagery, GPS, live traffic, and business listings to build a living, real-time digital layer of the physical world. And looking ahead, we're seeing this evolve into a fully AI-powered local discovery engine. Now, for those of you building SaaS right now, this is the core illusion you absolutely have to understand. Consumers, they just see Maps as a simple, free utility app. But internally, the business reality is a completely different beast. It operates as a massive platform ecosystem. Whole industries completely depend on it just to function.
Moving on to Section 2, Becoming Digital Infrastructure, the B2B Trojan Horse. Google achieved the ultimate holy grail for founders, platform lock-in. This is when businesses become so fundamentally dependent on your underlying infrastructure that switching becomes technically and operationally a nightmare. Think about it. Food delivery apps relying on Maps for routing, or ride-sharing companies needing it for driver navigation. By embedding itself into these core operations, Maps became the literal infrastructure of the internet economy.
Watch how this builds into an unstoppable engine. Step 1, more users join the platform. Step 2, because the users are there, businesses are basically forced to join and optimize their presence. Step 3, this generates massive amounts of data. Step 4, that data compounds to drastically improve the product, which, you guessed it, attracts even more users back to Step 1. It is a beautiful, monopolistic network effect. Section 3, Hidden monetization engines, turning free into billions.
So let's look at the actual cash. The revenue is incredibly diversified across different audiences. For B2C consumers, the engine is local ads. When someone searches for a coffee shop near me, that is high-intent commercial traffic. Businesses pay for promoted pins that blend natively right into the map. Then, for B2B developers, they monetize through map APIs, charging usage-based integration fees. And finally, for brick-and-mortar stores, they leverage business profiles.
And that last point leads us to a seriously fascinating concept. User-generated infrastructure. Look, if a business doesn't appear properly on Google Maps, it's essentially invisible online today. Because visibility directly equals revenue, millions of restaurants and shops manually update their photos, their hours, their menus. The absolute genius here is that these businesses optimize the platform for free. They're basically acting as unpaid data entry interns for Google. It dramatically reduces Google's operational costs while continuously improving the product. It's brilliant.
And over on the B2B developer side, API integration is an absolute goldmine. Developers embed Maps into logistics, real estate, and travel platforms. Because Google charges usage-based fees, as these delivery and logistics companies grow and succeed, their mapping API usage naturally goes up. So Google is literally scaling its recurring enterprise revenue right alongside the growth of the exact businesses using its infrastructure.
Which brings us to Section 4, the ultimate data moat. density, and ecosystem. Building a map isn't just about software, guys, it's about data density. Just look at these continuous data signals. Every single interaction inside maps generates data on real-time traffic patterns, consumer search intent, store visits, travel times, the whole shebang. Billions of users are continuously training the system. This creates a massive competitive advantage, making it incredibly expensive and virtually impossible for any competitor to match Google's real-time accuracy. No way.
But wait, it doesn't stop there. This massive data density fuels what we call ecosystem compounding. Maps strategically strengthens Google's other products. It makes Android way more sticky, it feeds local data into Google Search, and it drives location discovery on YouTube. Sometimes, a product doesn't actually need to maximize direct revenue if it successfully increases engagement across the entire surrounding ecosystem. It just deepens that overall platform lock-in.
Finally, Section 5, the Founder's Playbook, Lessons for Your Startup.
Okay, if you take away anything from today's explainer, please remember these rules. 1. Become indispensable before you try to monetize. 2. Try to control the underlying digital infrastructure of your niche. 3. Leverage user-generated content to scale efficiently without ballooning your operational costs. 4. High-frequency use builds strategic advantage. 5. Monetize the entire ecosystem, like B2B APIs, not just your end users. And finally, 6. Distribution, like Google having Android pre-installs, often dominates over pure technology.
Google understood very early on that if you control how people navigate the physical world, you control an enormous amount of digital behavior. You go from being just a map to being the very foundation of the local economy. So, my final provocative question to you founders is this: what physical or digital behavior is your startup trying to control, and how can you make yourself the invisible infrastructure behind it? Keep building, and thanks for learning with me today.